What makes humans truly terrifying? We are not the strongest. We are not the fastest animals. Our size is not even that massive. Yet, somehow this species has become the most fearsome presence on Earth. At first, I thought it was because we are smart. But after delving into human nature and history, I realized that true terror runs much deeper than I imagined. Take ancient humans, for example. They practiced persistence hunting, constantly chasing their prey until the animals were completely exhausted. Just the fact that we have only 2 legs makes us especially suited for long-distance running. On top of that, humans sweat more easily than most animals, which cools us down efficiently. Running for long periods is not a problem. What is even more remarkable is that if we really can't find food, our bodies can start burning fat reserves to keep us going, keep on living. But the cruelest thing is, the outcome of this kind of hunt is often one animal giving up the struggle, just lying down and accepting its fate. They can't cool down by sweating like humans do, and they can't last that long either. In the end, they collapse from exhaustion and hypothermia, then give up escaping. Wait for the humans to get closer. They can't even move anymore. No strength to resist. This process sounds too cruel. But this is only the tip of the iceberg of human horror. Endurance hunting. It was just an early survival method of ours. What is truly chilling is the way humans treat each other after evolving. Looking through history, our atrocities against one another far exceed those against any animal. War, slaughter, and torture humans inflict immense suffering on each other to an almost unbelievable degree. So the question is, if aliens really came to invade, could they withstand humanity's counterattack? Imagine this. An alien fleet has just arrived on Earth. What awaits them is not worship, but a group of 2-legged little creatures. They actually have already evolved intelligence, able to create metal and chemical weapons, even capable of unleashing destruction equivalent to a nuclear bomb. And we're not just good at making weapons. The foundation of the human species is endurance and persistence. Once we set our sights on a goal, no matter how painful or difficult, we will do everything we can to achieve it. Our fighting power is actually primitive and brutal. We can even continue to survive after losing more than half our blood and endure severe physical trauma. We can still grit our teeth and fight on. This kind of stubbornness and endurance, alien species might be completely unable to understand. This is humanity, purely savage, yet unbelievably resilient. Historically, what is the most terrifying thing humanity has experienced? Massive war crimes, such as genocide, and many overlooked smaller massacres. All of these prove how cruel humans can be to themselves, far deeper than we are willing to admit. It can be said that at certain times, the greatest threat to humanity is not an asteroid impact or a massive earthquake. It is ourselves. But humans are incredibly good at surviving. Take the Black Death in the Middle Ages, for example. In just 5 years, it claimed nearly half of the population on Earth. It was an almost unimaginable disaster. The earlier Justinian plague also took about 30% of the population at the time. In addition to this, human history has also experienced countless massive plagues and extinction crises. But we somehow made it through. If we had not survived time and time again, we would not be here today. This is what makes humanity truly terrifying. Even when knocked down, even when destroyed, we rise up again and again. We rebuild what we have lost. Cycles repeating, never backing down. But as I said, humanity's greatest threat is still ourselves. Differences in ideology, beliefs, and interests have created the most terrifying conflicts in history and gave birth to humanity's most brutal machines of destruction, causing casualties beyond imagination. Humans really love to destroy machines. Take the concept of the rod of God, for example. It involves sending a roughly 6-meter-long, extremely heavy metal rod into orbit and crashing it at high speed from space onto a target. The impact force can rival that of a nuclear bomb. Can you imagine that moment? A huge metal rod falling from the sky. It was directly dropped to ground, and this weapon was eventually abandoned. Surprisingly, not because it was too cruel, but because it was too expensive and impractical. Humanity's passion for destruction is this unflinching. But if aliens really came, they might be shocked by the speed at which humanity is evolving. 200 years ago, we had no railways. 125 years ago, there were no airplanes. 75 years ago, there was no space flight. But by then, humans had basically occupied the Earth. Our next goal will be the stars, and even more distant realms. Human technological development cannot be underestimated and has been accelerating faster as time goes on. Artificial intelligence is developing at an exponential rate. Space travel is about to achieve new breakthroughs. Medical technology is already highly advanced. Since ancient times, the human lifespan has increased by nearly 50 years. Such development speed is truly astonishing. We may even have mastered the ability to tax ourselves, the technology to easily control asteroids. If an asteroid were really on its way, there's no need to panic because we already have the ability to handle it. NASA National Aeronautics and Space Administration has recently achieved something that can only be described as insane. I was absolutely shocked when I first learned about it. NASA's Double Asteroid Redirection Test DART mission in 2022 was the first successful attempt to deflect a potentially dangerous asteroid. They deliberately sent a spacecraft to crash into the asteroid, achieving humanity's first planetary defense experiment. The asteroid Dimorphos was about 11 million kilometers from Earth at the time, and that spacecraft, it collided directly with it at a speed of 20,000 kilometers per hour. After the collision, the surface of the asteroid was struck with an impact crater about 10 meters wide, and we humans successfully shortened the asteroid's orbital period by a full 32 minutes. Space, for humanity, it has always been an invisible boundary, but now we humans are gradually testing that veil. It feels as if we are being restricted by a cosmic ceiling, and on some future day, we might truly break through it to reach other planets, even other star systems, because the growth rate of our species is truly terrifying. Our potential might even unknowingly break the limits of the universe. But I have never spoken about the one thing that I truly find most terrifying about humanity, and that is our curiosity. Humanity's thirst for the unknown is almost limitless. We want to conquer everything we do not yet possess. We want to conquer high mountains, so we risk our lives. To climb peaks that seem impossible to reach, simply to have been there. We journey into space, because this huge Earth, it already makes us feel confined. We explore every corner, because we do not want to miss any possibilities. And the craziest part is that we actually enjoy it. If I were an alien who came down to Earth, I would feel afraid, because humans might have discovered me by accident. But out of curiosity, they would capture me for research. Humankind is a vessel full of creativity, spirit, and courage. We strive to leave our mark on this planet, also that those who live after our death can see that we once existed. We will continue to explore, to conquer, until we fulfill every desire written in our genes, make it all come true. But before that, anything standing in our way either gets out of the way or gets crushed. What is most terrifying is the premise of everything we are doing is that we actually have no idea. Why do we exist in the universe? We were thrown onto this rock in space. We gained consciousness. Then, in the blink of an eye, we conquered it. We keep moving forward, simply because it is a part of our biological instinct. As beings on Earth, the only species with complex self-awareness, humans are both powerful and lonely. We are cursed by the complex consciousness in our own brains, destined to face this terrifying and unknown universe. So human terror is never just about power, but the obsession to keep moving forward despite fear. We keep moving forward, regardless of the outcome, fearless of everything, because we are ruthless and crazed. Unstoppable. For Earth has given birth to an unforgivable species. It is watching you. We are awakened matter. We are destined in this universe. The existence that leaves a mark, whether ahead lies disaster or miracle. We will all shout in the name of humanity and strive forward. All of this will become the most thrilling chapter in the vast history of a universe, and the name written at the end of that chapter is called humanity.